MLToys here with your instructional video on how to put our Stage V motor gearbox, motor gear kit into a Peg Perego vehicle. This kit is going to come with double everything you see here. We're just showing you one set to go into one gearbox. Your car has two motor gearboxes, so you'll just have to do all this twice. So the installation is actually pretty simple with this setup. I do want to stress this power drill, do not use. Put it away. You will strip components out when you're doing this job. So we're going to go to the good old-fashioned hand screwdriver for this. First thing you need to do on your car is access the motor gearbox, get it out of the car. To get your stock motor out, if you don't have motor connectors on your version, there are two screws here, Phillips head screws, that you can unscrew to unscrew your motor. Save those two screws and this gray motor mount. We're still going to use that on this setup. Then you're going to want to open your stock gearbox. The modern gearboxes are coming with 3 tabs that you can use a straight head screwdriver to pry these off and get it open. So once you pop it open, I've already got it opened up for the interest in time. We're going to pop this open. And inside, you're going to have a final drive gear. Let's set that out of the way for right now. A third gear, which we'll set out of the way. A second gear, and the last gear you can pull out, we've already removed, is the first gear. We're going to replace that with this steel one. This steel one is a different gear ratio than your stock one was, as is your pinion gear, and that's one way we're getting you more speed with this kit. So, a couple of things you need to do to your gearbox to get it ready to install the Stage V kit. First of all, the ball bearings, depending on when your gearbox was produced, there is a little variance on these shafts we've discovered. Some of them, these ball bearings will go over smoothly on. Some of them, you may need a small piece of fine sandpaper, 180 paper, and go around the shaft. You can pull the shaft out with a pair of pliers and just smooth it out until the ball bearings go on smoothly. They should go on, one ball bearing, then your gear, then your other ball bearing. And now we have a very smooth spinning steel gear on there with a better gear ratio. I'll get back to putting the rest of the gears in just a minute, and I'll show you why. The motor mount. The stock the 775 motor is a lot bigger, so we need a motor mount to make it fit. What we're going to do is the part of the motor mount that has countersunk screw holes in it, they'll line up with the holes on our motor. And we're giving you the motor mounting screws, these little tiny Phillips head screws. We use blue thread lock when we take those screws and tighten them in. Thread lock will help keep the screws from vibrating loose when your kids are bouncing down the road. I got one started loose, the other started loose. And we'll just tighten that down. Snug. Snug. Again, without a power tool. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. Okay. The pinion gear has a small set screw in it that uses a 2mm Allen key. And what we want to do with that is line the set screw up with a flat spot on the motor and slide it down until the set screw is at the bottom of the shaft. Then take your Allen key, and again, blue thread lock on that set screw is highly recommended, and snug that down tight, all by hand. So, one of the other things we've done, since we've gone to a larger pinion gear to get you more speed with the car, is you're going to find that the motor, when you put it in, we get this question a lot. The motor spins fine by hand, and then when they put it in, it's all locked up. See if I can show this. I don't know if the video is going to capture this, but when I have the motor in here, that pinion gear is actually going to hit where I've marked in red here, these 2 towers. Because the pinion gear is a larger diameter, it's going to hit the inside of these 2 towers. So you want to take your hobby knife and trim those towers just a little bit bigger. You really can't trim them too big. Feel free, just chop away at them, so that the pinion gear, when you put it in, gets full clearance on that spot. The other trimming we have to do is, there's 2 little nubs on the gearbox where the stock motor sat. those are only for 550 motors, and they'll be in the way with ours. You want to trim them off so that the motor will sit flush. A simple hobby knife, razor knife will do both of these trimmings very quick and easy. Pop that back out. You know what? We can just leave that in there for the rest of the demonstration. So we've got our gear in there. Now we go back in with our second gear. Our third gear sits on the same shaft as our first gear. Our final drive gear sits in. No, wait, I got that one backwards. Flip it over. It's part of the fun of it. It's like origami. There's only 4 gears. There you go. And now finally I can put the gearbox halves back together. And once I have them together, I take my stock motor mount, slide it in, not upside down, slide it back in, and again, hand tool only, tighten the 2 screws down. They will go to the 2 3mm holes, if I can get that back out, the 2 3mm holes in our motor mount. Again, blue thread lock is recommended on those screws. Now I'm going to set this aside and show you the wiring real quick. This is pretty straightforward. We provide these wiring bags. You can clip the red to the red tab on the motor, the black to the black tab. And then at the other end, we have these Wago connectors, they're called, that we give you 2 of these. And you open the tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter which end you start with. You put a wire in. You close the tab, it locks that wire in. We'd put the red one in here, and then your 2 original motor wires go in here. If you get the motor wires backwards in here, nothing will blow up. It's just that when you go forward, the car is going to go backwards. So if that happens, just reverse those 2 motor wires. Now, once you have the whole car back together, we need to break the motor gearboxes in. In order to do that, what we want to do is set the car up on bricks or whatever, get the rear tires off the ground stable, and put a brick on the gas pedal. You want to have the car in low speed and let it run for 15 minutes using the same voltage that the kids are going to be running the car at. So don't run a 12-volt battery in it if they're going to be running 24. We want the motor brushes to seat at the same power level that they're going to be running. When you do that, the motor brushes will seat in. It'll make the car a little faster. More importantly, it'll help the motors run cooler and have a longer lifespan to them. 15 minutes of that and you'll be good to go. You will possibly notice that one tire will go slower than the other. That's perfectly okay. If one tire comes to a complete stop, then what you want to do is have the kids drive the car in low speed forward again for 15 minutes, stopping as little as safely possible and not using reverse. That'll mimic the break-in procedure of doing it in the air. And that's all you need to put your Stage 5 kit into your Peg Perego and go faster.